What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me while I'm out here post gym. It's been a pretty warm day today. It's cooled off though a little bit, by 10 degrees, but I'll take this cooler weather right here after it's been a pretty mild day than I will those super cold days that I was getting before. But let's get into the topic at hand. The WNBA it's come to discussion again, and it's because of Angel Reese, and I do like Angel Reese a lot, but she sometimes she sticks her foot in her mouth with a little bit of delusion, and she's starting to parrot a lot of the really silly delusional stuff that some of the other women in the league have been saying before she got there. So there's been this talk about the pay with the WNBA again. And this really shouldn't be a topic that just keeps coming up, because I'm wondering, do the brass that run this league actually tell them what's going on in terms of the financial side of it? Because you have a league that loses $10 million every year, okay? It creates a $10 million hole that gets covered by the NBA. It's supplemented. You have a league that has never turned a profit in its history. And I think this is going to be, the 28th or 29th season coming up? So you're inching up to 30 years of never turning a profit, and you have the players that are talking about they want to get paid their worth. Your worth is what you can sell. You're technically getting paid above your worth because you're not producing profit. So this whole idea that they should still be getting paid more, I just don't get where it's coming from. In the history of never do you have a business that's been around for more than a quarter of a century, never turned a profit, and still stays in existence. And if it wasn't for all this DEI and equality stuff, the WNBA would have went away. It's largely in existence just so that they can say they have a women's league, because it's not turning a profit. And at the end of the day, it's all about dollars and cents. So it's a poverty league, essentially. It's being kept afloat by the revenue that the NBA produces. And they just don't get that. And I wonder, why is this so hard for them to understand? Does no one really ever take the time to explain to them the business side of it? And it just is really surprising how many of them seemingly don't understand basic economics. You've been, for decades, playing in front of a handful of people, okay? Those stadiums before just this last season, and we'll get to this last season. Before this last season, though, you would be considered a runaway success that day if you filled up half the seats. They usually didn't fill up half the seats, and the majority of the seats that would be occupied, the tickets were like some promo stuff. So you weren't getting people to buy into the product, and that's because the product's just not that enjoyable. It has nothing to do with hating women. It's just the product's not that entertaining. The product, in terms of spectacle, it's so bad compared to the males league. And no one expects it to be equal, but it's the level of athleticism on display. It just usually is not that what you would expect of a pro athlete, female or not. So this last season, and I think this is why Angel Reese is saying the silly stuff that she is about the collective bargaining agreement coming up, and if they don't get what they want. This last season, everything was up. Merch sales were up, ticket sales were up, viewership was up, everything was up. This was largely due to Caitlin Clark. She sparked a ton of interest into the league that it otherwise wouldn't have got. But Financial, it did the worst of all the years. 40 million it lost. So this last year, which they consider its most successful year, which, okay, they lost 4 times more than normal. So how you can lose 4 times more than normal and consider that to be a successful financial year? Again, who is the voice speaking on the financial side? Who is the voice speaking about the business side? Because it really does seem like the players have no clue how this works, that you have to make money in order for there to be money to go around for bonuses. You know, Angel Reese's rookie contract, she's said it, you know, we've seen it for ourselves about what the rookies get paid. 70 million, she said that's not even enough to cover any of her bills, and they demand more. They're going to sit out. And there is where her statement going viral comes into play. What would make you think that if you sit out that anyone would care? You have a league that is just finally starting to get viewership, and you're talking about the very following season sitting out. From a strategic point of view, this is suboptimal. I really don't know. Like, I don't know. Because she's not a dumb girl by any means, but she is definitely not well-versed when it comes to how these things work. And the young lady, she was an attractive female too. I don't know what her name is because I'm not familiar with her. But she didn't seem as gung-ho about the sitting out idea as Angel Reese did. She said it could possibly happen, you know, but she wasn't going there like gung-ho. Yeah, we're going to sit out like Angel Reese, because honestly, she might not be able to. You know, whatever money that she's making, 70, 80, 100K a year, you know, she probably needs that money to survive. And she not with the idea of sitting out, because Angel Reese had NIL money, then she got brand deals. You know, so if Angel Reese sits out, she gonna be okay. But talking about we all gonna sit out, I mean, this sounds like a ludicrous idea, because it is, honestly. But yeah, it sounds like a ludicrous idea, but how many of them are really gonna be on board for that? You know, really, how many of them can really afford to do that? If they say, oh, let's all sit out, how many really are gonna jump on that? Say, yeah, that's the thing to do. Brittany Griner, would she go along with that? You know, I don't really think she has any brand deals or anything like that. So I think Brittany Griner, I'm not pocket watching, I'm just saying, she's somebody that I believe, because she was one of the people that was complaining about having to go over to other countries to play in order to make ends meet. So you take her, would she go along with that? If she needs the NBA money plus WNBA money rather, plus playing somewhere else in order to make ends meet, is she gonna be okay with sitting out to where now all of her money comes from playing overseas? I don't know about that. So while somebody like Angel Reese can say this sort of stuff and sound really silly, it's a bad idea. And I think most of them, even if you're some of the really delusional ones, you smart enough to know that some money is better than no money, and that's sitting out. Because I don't know if they get some sort of kickback if they sit out, if they get some sort of reduced pay, because you know, like when you go on strike, when you're part of unions, they kind of do that thing. You don't get the full amount that you're gonna get that you were gonna get paid, but you get something. I don't know if they do that with the WNBA, where if you're essentially striking, you're gonna get a lesser amount, but that lesser amount might be some poverty stuff. You know, if you're making 70K a year and now you're going to get 35K a year by sitting out when you can get the 70K play, are you really going to do that? I don't think so. So hopefully this doesn't go anywhere. But let me know what you guys think. WNBA making the rounds again, being talked about again, because Angel Reese, bless her soul, cute girl though, she stuck her foot in her mouth again about something like this. honestly, and I'm gonna let y'all go after this. I think Angel Reese wants to be an influencer. I don't even think she wants to be a WNBA player. So I don't think she's gonna be in the league long term anyway. I think she's gonna be out sooner rather than later. But I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.